What is up, everybody? What is up? This is me, Josh. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are all doing well. And you may ask, why do I have this Tier 7 beautiful destroyer in front of me? It's because if you have played Warships in like the last 24 hours, there's been a small little update. And with that update has come this new tab. Ranked is on its way back. Oh my gosh, finally. It's been long awaited. Ranked is coming back. Today is June 1st, Wednesday, and ranked battles are currently unavailable. The season will begin in 2 days, and if my elementary school education has paid off, then that is on Friday. So get ready. And you say, why do I have my tier 7s? Well, if this is, I don't know if it's been verified. I know it's been data mined, and this is kind of what's going on. The last two seasons have been tier 7, tier 8 for the highest tiers, tier 5, tier 6 for the lower tiers, 25 to 11, and 10 to 1 was tier 7s, tier 8s. This has been the last two seasons, so season 2 and season 3. Now, supposedly, this next season, which I think is season 4, is going to be tier 5 and 6 for 25 to 11, and then from 10 to 1 will then be 6 and 7. So this is going to be a really quick video on ships, well, the upcoming rank season, and ships I think are going to be strong. This is going to be an interesting season of what ships are going to be very powerful, what ships are going to kind of take over, because last season we kind of knew we had a couple seasons to get used to the ships that were in ranked, and now it's a complete different meta. You know, tier 8 ships are a lot different balance-wise than tier 7 ships. So I'm going to kind of just go over quickly, it's not going to be a long-winded video, quickly what ships I think are going to be good, what ships I think we won't see too much of, and what ships I think are going to surprise a lot of people. So my class I played in the last two seasons, got rank 1 in, was the Benson. We saw a lot of Bensons last year, and the Bensons were so strong because they were sneaky and because they could use their guns and had good torpedoes. We saw Bensons all over last season. So this season, let's just start with the destroyers. If you only look at destroyers, yuck, I'll use the compact carousel just to make it easier for myself. There are 5 tier 7 DDs, and we'll just focus on the highest tiers. Like tier 5s and 6s, of course, the Minakazes are going to be strong. The USN, I think, will both be strong, especially with high-level captain. The Anshan will be strong. Well, I'll just focus on mainly the highest tier, so tier 7s mainly for this video. So the rank 10 to all the way to rank 1, these ships will be kind of focused towards you guys. But we have 5 to choose from, and one thing that was so strong for last year was you get a lot of high-level captains, which means low detectability. So that's the thing we're kind of going to look for in this season. So the Sims. I guess let's just start with the Bliss. The Bliss is the ship I will be using. I think the Bliss is going to be the strongest destroyer in my opinion. 7 guns, hits very hard, good rate of fire, pretty decent torps, and it actually has a really low level detectability for this tier. Actually, the third lowest, because Tatsu is even lower, and actually the Sims gets a little bit lower, but this is going to be a monster ship, I think. It's in the tech tree, so if you guys didn't know, you can actually go in and buy it right through the tech tree, so that's pretty cool. Really good ship to play with. I think stock it's 7.5 detection, but with the 15-point captain, which I'm on my way, I only need one more point, about 120,000 away. This is going to be a monster destroyer. It's going to be very, very good. The detection is going to get down to about 6.7. The guns are very good. 8-kilometer torpedoes. Right now, without even concealment expert, its stealth fire is at 11.1, and it'll be down to like 10.3 or something nuts like that, 10.4 stealth fire. Really, really good. You could even change out AFT for demo expert to do some more damage. I think the Bliss is going to be a monster. I think especially with a high level captain. Even without a high level captain, it's still really good. Even a 10-point captain with AFT, this thing is still an annoying monster. You can light cruisers on fire, you can light battleships on fire the entire game, and you can win 1v1s with destroyers. Kievs, I don't think we'll see too many Kievs this season. It can be really good, maybe with a high-level captain, but this is the stat where that gets me with these destroyers. It's the reason we didn't see too many Tashkents in the last couple seasons, is because the detections are so high. And even with a high-level captain, it only gets down to about 7.8. You're just out-spotted by everything, and the skill level in ranked is pretty high, and if something's spotted, it gets shot at. So I don't think we'll see too many Kievs. Of course, there will be some Kievs that make a splash in it. I don't think this will be a main one. It'd be interesting to see if people do get really far in the Kiev, because it's still a monster, but the detection just is kind of the knock for me. I don't think we'll see too many of them getting too far. But there's always the some people. There's always those people that push really hard. The Mahan, I think we'll see a lot of Mahans. It's going to be the Tier 7 Benson. Literally is 9.2 kilometer torps, good guns, mediocre arc, but it's kind of the same thing. You're going to be able to get the Mahan down to 6.9, so still relatively stealthy. Can stealth, get in there, do a lot of damage to other destroyers. I think that we'll see a lot of Mahans. I think they'll be very strong for people who don't have the premiums, the Bliss or the other. I think this will be probably one of the most popular ones besides the Bliss. I think the Mon will be very strong. Now the Sims actually gets the second lowest detection with 6.6 with a high level captain. You know, you can get a Gearing captain, a Fletcher captain, a Benson captain from last season and switch it over, so it makes a really easy transition. It's more maneuverable than the Mahan. It has but the torpedoes, I think, are going to be the knock on the Sims. The Sim has very slow torpedoes, I believe, at 55 knots. They don't do that much damage. And I like the Sims. It's fun to play. Not a lot of people have it. Hasn't been sold since, I think, the closed beta. And rumors are it's coming back. But I think the Sims will have a decent... I think people will play it. I just think it's more stealthy than some of the other destroyers, just by a hair, you know, a tenth of a kilometer, 2/10 of a kilometer. If people have them, I think we'll see some, not too many. You don't even see that many in game today. But I think we'll see a couple. Like I said, a few people have them, so it won't be too big of a splash. You'll probably see as many Sims as you do Kievs, I think, in this season. And the Hatsu, the one lone Japanese destroyer. I think we'll see about as many as we will Kabuki's last season. The thing about this is it's very, very stealthy with a 15-point captain. You can get it down to 5.9 kilometers. The torpedoes still do pretty well. The guns are decent, but the reload times on the it's just not as controlling in the game as a gunboat. It's just if it does get spotted by a gunboat, by a Bliss, by anything, by a Kiev, it's just gonna die, especially at this tier. I think we'll still see them, just like we saw people do pretty well in some Fubukis. It's just not going to be the dynamite controlling ship. You need to have something that's decent with guns. I think we'll still see plenty, very stealthy, and but I just don't think it'll be controlling as everything else. Now for cruisers, I think are going to be pretty competitive. There are a lot of good cruisers. I think Atlanta, I don't think we'll see too many. Atlanta is the Atlanta. Pensacola, I don't think we'll see too many. Pensacola's Pensacola, really high detectability. Atlanta just doesn't have enough range, in my opinion. On certain maps, it's okay. And I've challenged some people in my stream to play the Atlanta and get rank 1 in it, so we'll see if they actually do it. Pensa, you get spotted in a Pensa from so far away. Battleships of that tier could probably even get more stealthy than it. I don't know. The standouts, I think, are going to be the Shores, the Miyoko, and the York. The thing about the Shores, high rate of fire, really good fire chance. You know, this is going to be a good ship in my opinion. I think one of the strongest, if not the strongest. Really, really good rate of fire at 16.8 kilometers. Really good AA against against the planes, and I think this will be a strong ship. Miyoko, of course, is going to be decent. The downside is it's 15.6 kilometer range, one of the lowest. The only one it beats is the Atlanta for range, and barely is lower than the Pensacola. But the Miyoko hits so hard, it's stealthy. You can get it really low, especially high level captain. Get it down to about 10 point something. Predictability, good torps though. The Miyoko, I think we'll see plenty of those. I think the horse that we'll see actually get played and actually do decent is the York. The York has the longest range of any tier 7 cruiser, and that's 17.3 kilometers. So this will be pretty cool. I think we'll see some Yorks do pretty well. They buffed it a decent amount, and a lot of people are liking it right now. So the York, I think, will actually surprise some people. And then the Indianapolis, the ship that just came out, the Indianapolis has 16.9, so it's very competitive range-wise, and we'll see a decent amount of that. It's basically just a better Pensacola, and you can, of course, switch a captain over it being a premium. So out of the two premiums, Atlanta and the Indianapolis, I think we'll see more of the Indies, and we'll see them probably do relatively well as well. So in my opinion, Shores, Miyoko, and York kind of being the dark horse. Shores and Miyoko, I think, probably being the two powerhouses. And I think the Indy doing pretty well for cruisers. We don't have that Super Tago and the Mogami with, I think, 155s are still doing pretty good last season. I think. It's been so long now. And I think these four, Pensacola and Atlanta, I'm sorry, bros, I don't think we'll see too many of you. But cruisers, I think, will be really strong. There's a lot to choose from. And I think they'll do relatively well. Now for battleships, if I can click the right ship. Now, battleships. There's only two to choose from. There's not the three. You don't have the Tirpitz North Cal Magi to compete with. You just have the two, Colorado and Nagato. My opinion, The Colorado doesn't have as good a range, but I think the Colorado, with its recent buff of dispersion back in a few patches ago, I think it's going to be the favorite, in my opinion. I would probably go with the Colorado instead of the Nagato. I think the Colorado has better dispersion, in my opinion, and now it has pretty decent good range. The Nagato is pretty strong, better secondaries, and I think they even got an AA buff as well. But I think it's pretty balanced. You know, you got the one with that can shoot farther away and better secondaries, and you have the one with better AA that can brawl better. So battleships are pretty sweet. I think it'd be a fantastic situation for maybe the Arizona to come in at tier 6. If they do even bump it up to a tier 7 premium battleship, maybe they'll rush that out. I don't know. But for only having the 2 battleships, that's kind of a bummer. That's why I like tier 8 so much. There were the 3. But battleships, I think, are going to be pretty good. Both are going to do very well. And both are going to have a huge impact on the game itself. Like I said, I think the Colorado's a bit better than the Nagato. I know there's going to be some fanboys for the Nagato, but I just think consistently, I think the Colorado and its effective range is just going to be better. The aircraft carriers, I think, are going to be very interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of Hiryu. I think the Hiryu is going to be the prime all-star aircraft carrier, running its balance: 2-2-2, 2 fighters, 2 torp bombers, 2 dive bombers. I think an air supremacy Hiryu will control the sky, but I think we will see a lot more, and I'm excited about this tier. I think we'll see a lot more aircraft carriers than we have in like the last season. I think the aircraft carrier queue is going to be pretty healthy. A lot of people bought the Saipan. A lot of people were able to get the Saipan and get a high-level captain in it too, so this will be pretty fun, which can be very, very strong. The Saipan can strike so quick that I think that it'll be a monster. Getting out and taking out a ship right away with those tier 9 planes with that speed, that's pretty damn good. Especially in team battles where it's 7v7, instantly taking out a ship or putting big damage into a ship or hitting a cruiser with 2 or 3 torpedoes, that getting them down to a low health, this will be pretty big. Saipan, I think, is going to be very strong. Ranger, I don't have the Ranger bought right now. I don't think I'll spend the money on it. Ranger, I think we'll see some strikes do relatively well if they can be sneaky enough. They just get controlled by either of these, the Hiryu or the Saipan with the 2 fighters. Assuming the Saipan goes the balance with the 2 fighters and the 2 torp bombers. So maybe we'll see some fighter Rangers do okay. You run into the problem where you control the sky and then you don't really do enough damage. So in my opinion, Saipan and Hiryu are going to fight for the top spot. Can the speed of the Saipan and the speed of the planes make up for the lack of squads in the air? I'm not sure. Like I said, Shokaku kind of ran it last season. I just didn't think there was too many of them. Tier 7's a bit healthier for carriers. It's a little bit lower tier, easier to attain. People have more fun in it, less to kind of control. And I think carriers will be pretty healthy this season. I'm excited for that. It's just a new, you didn't see a lot of carriers. So that'll make the Destroyer's life, which I'll be playing, a lot harder. But that's okay. That makes it more fun. And, oh, one thing too, Indianapolis, radar, only one with radar. Everybody knows that DD's kind of ran the caps, ran everything. Indianapolis has radar. It's the only one. I think it's going to be pretty good. Actually, right now, you heard it live. That'll kind of take maybe the top tier people have it. So that'll be pretty neat to have. Like I said, guys, 2 days away. Get your captains ready. I'm getting my, let's get back to my bus really quick. Can I get my Bliss captain high enough? 120 experience, 120,000 experience. Oh my God, someday. Please give me my concealment. But we're getting there, guys. So I'm playing the Bliss, maybe play some cruisers, but we'll kind of stick to that. And one thing that has changed, I don't know if it's official, but they have changed the way kind of how stars work, and they've kind of gifted the best loser. So from what I've heard, the top player on the losing team no longer loses a star. That is awesome if that ends up being the case. How many times have me, you guys, anybody that's played, been on the losing team, and you're the only one that did anything, and your team just disintegrated? How many times has that happened? Now you kind of get pseudo rewarded for it. It's like, hey, you tried. Here's a ribbon. You didn't lose a star. If that goes through, I'm so excited. That'll be amazing, and I cannot wait. So. Yeah, that's the part I'm most excited about. But yeah, guys, a bunch of really good ships at tier 7. It'll be an interesting season. I think kind of a learning curve getting kind of acquainted at the tier 7s again. But 2 more days, guys. Friday, June 3rd is when it goes live. Get your captains ready. Tier 7s, tier 5s and 6s. Remember, guys, if you got to a certain rank last season, it gives you X amount of stars towards this season. So you don't start. I think you start at 22 anyway. And so if you got rank 1, I think you start at 14. And so, you know, whatever rank you got to last season, it gives you kind of a boost for this next season. So best of luck, guys. Good luck out there. Hope to see you in queues. Play ranked. I heard the rewards are going to be a lot better this year too, or this season. And it should be a lot of fun. Rank's back. Get excited, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are going to play, what you guys are worried about ship-wise, and ships you think are going to do really well. So remember to like and subscribe, guys. I will check you guys next time. Good luck in the rank season. May you all get your Jolly Rancher flag for rank 1. Peace, bros.